Hello, 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 and welcome to this Sunday's Simple Sunday from Thought Provoking Change. This episode is brought to you by The Unscripted Event, coming up next weekend in the beautiful Daytona Beach, Florida area. Get your tickets right now at www.theunscriptedevent.com, and we'll see you in beautiful Daytona Beach, Florida. Man, we're looking forward to changing lives at Unscripted number 3. So tonight we're going to be discussing thankfulness is the slingshot for joy. So I have an excerpt here that I'm going to read to you guys. And thankfulness is the act of acknowledging and appreciating the good qualities of life, whether large or small. It is about focusing on what we have rather than what we don't. It can include being thankful for the people in our lives, the experiences that we have had, or the simple pleasures of everyday living. When we practice thankfulness, we recognize the abundance in our lives and cultivate a grateful spirit. Joy, on the other hand, is an inner emotion of extreme pleasure and satisfaction. It is a state of mind that can be achieved through a variety of activities, such as spending time with loved ones, pursuing our passions, or participating in activities that give us fulfillment. However, one of the most effective ways to cultivate joy is through thankfulness. When we practice thankfulness, we shift our attention from what we lack to what we have. We are more likely to experience emotions of joy and contentment if we take the time to appreciate the wonderful things in our lives. Because we are more aware of the positive aspects of our lives when we are thankful, we are more likely to appreciate challenges with a positive mindset. Furthermore, developing a thankful spirit can have a significant impact on our mental and emotional well-being. In studies, gratitude practice has been found to boost mental health by reducing stress and anxiety and increasing emotions of happiness and life satisfaction. Also, expressing gratitude can strengthen our relationships with others by creating a feeling of closeness and connection. Beginning each day with appreciation is important for building a happy mindset and increasing our general well-being. When we wake up with a grateful heart, we are more likely to tackle the day with a positive attitude and to be more resilient in the face of adversity. Here are some reasons why we should wake up thankful and grateful for our blessings. It increases emotions of contentment and happiness. When we wake up with a grateful heart, we are more likely to see the positive things in our lives and to be satisfied with what we have. This can lead to an enhanced feeling of contentment and fulfillment, even in the face of adversity. It improves mental and emotional well-being. It has been shown that practicing thankfulness has several benefits for our mental and emotional well-being. It can alleviate stress and anxiety, enhance sleep quality, and boost emotions of contentment and fulfillment. It increases connection and empathy. Expressing gratitude can increase connection and empathy with others. We are more inclined to act positively when we notice and appreciate the good things in our lives. Here are some tips that can help you start the day with a thankful mindset. Start your day with a few minutes of mindfulness to help you focus on the present moment and create an attitude of gratitude. It should be as simple as taking a few deep breaths, sitting quietly for a few minutes, or doing a quick meditation. Keep a thankfulness notebook. A gratitude journal can be an effective approach to promoting a grateful spirit. Take a few minutes each morning to write down 3 things that you are grateful for: a good night's sleep, a kind word from a friend, or a beautiful morning are all examples of this. Reflect on positive experiences from the previous day. Spend a few minutes each morning reflecting on positive experiences from the previous day. This might assist you in directing your focus to the positive aspects of your life and cultivating a positive mindset for the day ahead. Moreover, it is important to appreciate the small things in our life. A comfortable bed, a hot shower, a good cup of coffee, a kind word from us, or all of tiny things to be thankful for. We can foster an attitude of thankfulness and improve our general well-being by noticing and appreciating the minor blessings in our lives. Thankfulness must be verbally expressed. When we express gratitude openly, we not only recognize the wonderful things in our lives, but we also build our bonds with others. Saying thank you to someone who has helped us, shown us kindness, or simply been present for us can make us feel more connected and appreciated in our relationships. In addition to improving our connections, verbalizing our thankfulness can help us create happy perspective. When we express our gratitude, we reinforce those pleasant events and sentiments in our thoughts. Even when we're facing challenging situations, this can help us focus on the positive aspects of our lives. The expression of thanks verbally can have a ripple effect. When we express our gratitude, we encourage others to do the same. Our thankfulness can elevate others' spirits, enhance their moods, and inspire them to express their own gratitude. This positive loop can result in a more connected and supportive group, which can lead to a happier and healthier society. There are numerous verbal expressions of thankfulness. Saying thank you is a simple but effective way to express gratitude. However, we can express gratitude in other ways, such as writing a thank you note, sending appreciation messages, or simply expressing our gratitude in conversation. Be thankful today and every day. Daily thankfulness practice is vital for creating a happy mindset and living a fulfilling life. While many people associate thankfulness with special occasions such as holidays or birthdays, it is important to remember that gratitude is a practice that requires consistent attention and effort. Setting reminders is one way to make Thanksgiving a daily habit. This can be as simple as setting an alarm on your phone or posting a note somewhere visible to remind you to take a moment to think about the things you were grateful for. You can make appreciation a regular part of your life by including reminders in your everyday routine. In difficult situations, it is also important to practice gratitude. When we face difficult situations, it is all too tempting to focus on the negative and lose sight of the positive. We can reframe our perspective and find reasons to be grateful if we actively seek out the positive in challenging situations. Even in the face of trouble, this can help us grow resilient and discover hope. You know, this goes hand in hand with what we've talked about in the past of what you focus on grows. If you focus on the negative of your life, if you focus on the things that just don't seem to be working out, you will find more of it. When you focus on the things that you are thankful for, you will find more things to be thankful for. I sent a text out to a couple people, and Ricardo was actually one of them. Several weeks back, I was struggling with some things, and he responded to me, and to paraphrase what he said, he told me exactly what we're talking about tonight, about finding those things to be thankful for, about finding those things that you can focus on that will bring you happiness, that will bring you joy. And that is all that we need to change our lives. And I'm not saying this from just a hopeful type situation. I am saying this from somebody that truly lives it. You know, you can sit there and beat yourself up, beat yourself down. And the more you do it, the lower you're going to go. The worse it's going to get. And when you focus on the positive, you will find more positive. For those of you that joined us this past Sunday on the Share Your Success Saturdays, I started off with something very simple. I said, hey, I remain married over the past month. Now, I would imagine that probably makes most people think, oh, he's having issues in his relationships. He's having problems in his marriage. But like I told the people that were on the call, I said, that's not it at all. It's the thing that when we focus on the good, we'll find so much more good. We wake up each day, we have 5 fingers, 5 toes, or 10, I guess, 5 per hand, 5 per foot. So you have 10 fingers, 10 toes. How much of that do you take for granted? I had a friend many, many years ago. She's passed on now. She had diabetes. She had a toe chopped off, a single toe. Her balance was never the same. The point is, when you look at all of your blessings and you focus on how good you truly have it, the world is truly yours for the taking. When you can find joy in anything that's going on, and you will find so much more joy each and every single day. Whether that's building a business, whether that's coming out of a flood. You know, I mean, I'll pick on Michelle for a second. Her village has been flooded. And she's shown us pictures inside the VIP group chat on Facebook and Mighty Networks. And it's horrific. I mean, it's terrible. Yet, she's here with us right now. She got on the call and she was smiling. She's still smiling. You know, she could look at all the water and all the damage that it's created and be down in the dumps. Yet she chooses to be positive. And that is helping keep her sustained through everything that's going on right now. You know, we as a community, we as a group are there for her. We're there for you, Michelle, with anything you need that we can help you with. Yet at the same time, there's the whole mental aspect of this where she decides to be happy and joyous throughout the whole situation. What have you struggled with? What have you struggled with and focused on the negative and found it harder to pull out of whatever that situation was? You can look at the positive or the negative and move in that direction, because what you focus on grows. You want to see more positive, focus on the positive. And when you're in the midst of everything going on, sometimes it's a lot easier said than done. I understand that. Sometimes you just, all that you feel that you can find is the negative. Push through, because there will be brighter days. I know that's an easy, somewhat cop-out. Yet, when you really keep pushing and you never stop, you will triumph. You cannot beat a man, you cannot beat a person that refuses to quit. You cannot beat a person that refuses to stay down. You knock me down, I'll get back up and get back up stronger. I've owned a commercial cleaning service for 20 years now. I have had it fall apart on me multiple times. Every time it fell apart, I built it back, and I built it back stronger and better. Every time. With this new venture that we're in, with this community, there are challenges as a business. Any business that puts it out as stuff, everything's just great and hunky-dory all the time, that's not real life. Just like a relationship. No relationship is great all the time. Now, they should be great the majority of the time, but we're flawed human beings. When you can focus on the good of the relationship, that's where you'll pull through. I was listening to somebody speak recently, and they were talking about a client that they had that was having marriage problems. And they asked the man what they were doing now that they were doing when they first started dating. And he was dumbfounded. He's like, what do you mean? Well, are you still dating? No, we're married now. Well, are you still doing this? Are you still? No, we're married now. And he said, if you will just go back to what you did when you won each other over, you'll rekindle those feelings. That's because in the beginning, you're very thankful for the relationship. And as time goes on, sometimes it fades. Yet when you focus on the person and the love and the admiration that you have for the person, and you're thankful for what they bring to your life, that's where you grow. You know, I can be nothing but thankful for my wife. She is the most supportive person I have ever had in my corner. I was not accustomed to that in my previous marriage. Yet in my marriage now, and the last marriage I will ever have, she is, even when I am down and beat down, she's there to support. She's there to uplift. She's there to encourage. That, it's impossible to not be thankful for that and have joy come from there. And when you are thankful daily, it will lead you to joy, to true joy. Having the gratitude journal is huge. Just full transparency, I have not been keeping up with mine. I am in with the group, and they have an outline, which I have worked on for this group. I just haven't found somebody that knows how to do the back-end coding for us to do it yet. They have something that you can log into every day, and you are to put 5 things that you're thankful for. First thing in the morning, the very first thing that you do. I still remember some of the things that I would put down. I put down, I'm thankful for a warm bed. I'm thankful for heat or air, whatever time of year it is. I'm thankful for my blanket. I'm thankful for my pillow. Of course, there was the thankful for my wife. I'm thankful for my kids. The point here is look at everything. You have a nice warm bed to lay down in. A lot of people don't. It is so easy to get wrapped up in the blessings of life that you have and take them for granted. We wake up each day and everybody on this call gets up and they walk with 2 legs. I have a very dear friend who doesn't have 2 legs. He has 1.5. And the thing is, he is very thankful and very joyful. In fact, James had a cartoon character made. Kate, who was it from Marvel? Was it Marvel Comics? You don't remember? Either Marvel or DC Comics made a cartoon character out of James, the guy that I'm talking about. And his name is Joyful James. So it goes in line with exactly what we're saying. He is an amazing person, very thankful and very joyful. I'm going to jump back here to the book real quick and read a little bit more. And as y'all know, this is coming from my most recent book, Slingshots, 13 Powerful Catapults for Life Transformation. And Can y'all hear me okay? Because it appears that I may be frozen. Y'all can hear? Okay, cool. Gratitude is a daily habit that can bring more joy, fulfillment, and meaning to our lives. Gratitude is more than a one-time experience or a passing emotion. It is a daily practice that may bring more joy, contentment, and satisfaction or significance to our lives. Practicing thankfulness on a regular basis can have a transforming effect on our general view of life and our relationships with others. We can shift our perspective to the positive aspects of our lives by consciously focusing on what we are grateful for. It's easy to get caught up in the stresses and struggles of daily life, but by taking the time to think about what we're grateful for, we may create a stronger feeling of appreciation and optimism. When we practice gratitude on a daily basis, it becomes easier to find joy and fulfillment in even the most insignificant aspects of life. We may begin to appreciate the beauty of nature, strangers' compassion, or the basic pleasures of life as we express our gratitude for their presence in our lives. We may discover that our relationships with others become stronger and more meaningful. When faced with adversity, gratitude can help us develop a stronger sense of resilience and coping skills. We can reframe difficult situations and find possibilities for growth and learning by concentrating on the positive aspects of our lives. Including thankfulness in our daily lives can take various forms, such as keeping a gratitude book, openly thanking others, or simply taking the time to reflect on what we are grateful for. We may create a more positive outlook and bring more joy, contentment, and significance to our lives by making thankfulness a regular practice. You know, at one point in the book, it talks about setting a daily reminder. Set your alarm. Many years ago, when I had a weight training coach, the weight loss coach, he told me, he said, Jonathan, you're going to eat every 3 hours. That is really challenging. It's really challenging. Yet he told me, he said, put an alarm in your phone to go off every 3 hours. And I did that. And doing so, I was reminded each time to eat. You can do that too with reminding yourself to be grateful and to be thankful. You can always put an alarm in every whatever's at your discretion, but put in an alarm to go off and remind yourself, just thank God for something. Thank a friend for something. Thank your spouse for putting up with you. Thank a friend for being a friend. People tend to appreciate and respect a whole lot more when you reach out to them when you're not needing anything. Do y'all have those friends that you know that every time you see your phone ring or you get a text message, they're going to be asking something from you? Just imagine how it is when you receive that phone call or that text and they're just on there saying, hey, Juanita, I appreciate you. Hey, Danny, it's great knowing you. I enjoy calling you a friend. You don't know what that does to someone's day. I was leaving Chick-fil-A 2 weeks ago, and I was in my big work truck. It's a Ford F-450, big old truck with a lot of equipment on the back. There was a minivan that was at the light. There was a sticker on the back of it that said, hey, that's a nice minivan, said no one ever. So what do? I pull up right beside her. I motioned for her to roll her window down, so she rolls her window down. And I looked at her and I said, "Hey, that's a nice minivan." That woman did not stop laughing the entire time that she was at that red light. That put a smile on her face. What can you do to put a smile on somebody's face? Because that might be the only thing that they have to be thankful for that day. If you spend any time around me in person, you will learn that I am a goofball around a lot of people, especially people I don't know. And it's fun. The reason why is I like to put a smile on people's face. And again, you don't know if the smile that you put on somebody's face is going to be the only smile they're going to have that day. You never know if the person that you're talking to and being nice to and pouring into and showing love to is, contemplating suicide. And by you outpouring of love to them, they say, "You know what, I'll hold on for just another day." And then the next day, somebody else does it. And the next day, somebody else does it. Of course, that's a pretty extreme example. But you never know when that could be the example. Or could be real life. When I was younger, I used to work at a restaurant called Sonic Drive-In. And I ate at a Waffle House that was nearby quite a bit. And I remember going into work one day, and one of our car hops, which is a waitress, she formerly worked at the Waffle House that I went to. And I told her, I said, "Hey," I don't recall the man's name now, but I said, "Hey, the Waffle House has notes on there saying, if we're not acting ourselves, please forgive us. We had a fellow coworker take his life last night." So I told her about it, and she reached out and she found out that it was the manager. And she said, "I had no idea that he was struggling like that." And I still remember that plain as day. That still sticks with me to this day. Of just make somebody smile. Give people a reason to be thankful. We've talked about on another one of the calls, on the Tuesday call, about people wearing masks. And how everybody wears a mask of some kind. Just because somebody is smiling and seemingly happy doesn't mean that everything's great in their life. The first person I think of is Robin Williams. Robin Williams was, he was an icon. Hilarious, awesome on the camera, awesome with the microphone, always made people laugh. Yet, the person that was most important for him to have positive communication with, himself, he clearly didn't have it. For those of you that may not be aware, I may be talking before some of your time. Robin Williams was an amazing, amazing A-list actor. And he took his own life. God, it's probably been 15 years ago, 20 years ago, something like that. Not 15 years ago. And he made people laugh for a living. He brought thankfulness. He brought joy to people's lives while they were being entertained by him. Yet, he didn't have that same inner joy. And don't get me wrong, I'm not talking medically. I understand there are medicines that people are on that mess with their minds, all that type of stuff. I understand that. So this is not a medical diagnosis by any stretch of the imagination. Yet, how can you show thankfulness to those you love? Even bigger question is, how can you show thankfulness to those that you don't know? To those you've never met? To those that may be in the drive-thru line at the restaurant that you're eating at? How can you show thankfulness to the person at the restaurant that you're dining in at? Or the parents of the opposing football team that your kid just played against, and you absolutely destroyed them and crushed them. How can you show thankfulness to them? I'm looking at the monitor and I see a couple of you, it looks like your mind's running. And that's the point of this, is to really get you thinking that no matter who you come in contact with, spread some joy. You don't know what their life is at home. And newsflash, I know this is going to be a shocker, but the life that people live on social media is not always real life. I know that can be disappointing to most people. So when you pour into people and you love on people just for who they are, not for what they can offer you, not for what they can bring you, you're just thankful for them as a person. You know, Kate and I have a very dear friend that is an actor. And there's been many walls for us to go through with him. I can only imagine. I mean, with his status, with people that he's been in films with, you know, there's that element that I would imagine. I'm not in that world, so I don't know this. This is just my assumption. You have people grabbing at you. You have people saying, oh, I want to be friends with them so that they can introduce me to this person or that person, or they can expand my network. Yet, what about when you just care about them for them? Okay, cool. He's an actor. Don't care. He would be the same person to me if he was a janitor at a restaurant. He would be an interesting looking janitor because of how insanely large he is. But the thing is, over time, he has seen more and more, look, this guy's not here so that I can introduce him to anybody. Who's he introduced me to? Nobody. Could he? Sure. I don't care if he does. If he does, great. If he doesn't, I'm okay with that too. When you pour into people and you're thankful for them, not only will you bring yourself joy, not only will that thankfulness slingshot you to joy, it'll slingshot them to joy too. Because everybody needs a friend. Everybody needs people they can confide in. Everybody needs people that they can love and that love them with no potential for gain of anything other than that relationship on the back end. So I'm going to open the floor up, and I believe you guys can unmute yourselves. But y'all let me know how y'all show thankfulness in your daily life. How do you show thankfulness for the most trivial of things, the biggest, the smallest, doesn't matter. How do you show thankfulness for that? Or do you have a problem? Do you have a challenge showing that thankfulness? Danny, are you raising your hand?
Yes, sir. So for my people who have iPhones, you have something called Reminder. I'm actually gonna pull it up. Around 1 p.m. every single day, because you can set it for how many days you want it to keep reminding you, and at what time. For every single day, I have at 1 p.m. every day, I get a reminder saying "Stay positive" in big bold letters.
Mm-hmm.
And every time I look at my phone, because it vibrates, it says "Just stay positive," right across the top. And that just it's like my motivation and it's just okay, cool. I'm gonna stay positive for the rest of the day.
Right.
And whatever just comes in my way, well, I'm just gonna fight through it and work through it.
And see, that's a wonderful thing. At Thought Provoking Change, we offer something that it's twofold. One is you get a daily motivation, a daily text motivation, encouragement. And that also goes in line with a group coaching program. And the beauty to that is exactly like you're talking about, Danny. Yours says stay positive, every day it reminds you of that. The whole concept of the daily motivation is the fact that there are times where you might not feel that great. Things might not be going so good. And you get that text message, and it just reminds you that you're incredible, that it reminds you that you're awesome. It reminds you that you're loved, that you're cared for. That can make all the difference in the world. You get it 365 days a year. You might ignore it 360 days a year. But guess what? On those 5 days, when it can impact your life and positively move you to greatness, that's when it counts. So that's great. A daily reminder in your iPhone. Who else has a way to track and keep up with how they show thankfulness and how it slingshots you to joy? You can unmute yourself.
Another thing I like to do, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I'm going. I like to comment at least or give a comment out to 3 people a day. Whether it be something, I like your hat, or hey, I like your shoes, whatever the case may be. I'll just be randomly walking, and I just say something to someone. Another thing I like to do, I like waving at people. I like to just sit there. I'll be driving around in my car with my windows down. I'll just start waving at people, and you would see them go from this most serious face to just so happy, and they wave back, which is so funny. But they get happy when you do that. And McKenna gets embarrassed, and she's like, "Why stop waving at people?" I'm like, "No, look, I just made that older guy he's happy now. He
Right.
Nobody waved at him earlier. Now somebody's waving at him. He's happy. He's driving away with a smile." And then she kind of now she looks at it differently. But that's another thing I like to do, is just comment somebody or just wave somebody down. Another thing I did before was I would walk into a restaurant, and I would see somebody sitting alone. I'll just sit with them, just out the blue. I'd sit with them and just start having a conversation with them. And you actually learn a lot from people, which is crazy, the amount of stuff you can learn from people.
Absolutely. What's some things that you've learned by talking to a random stranger at a restaurant?
Me personally, what was it? I forgot who I talked to, but I talked to an older guy, and he actually had his family was somehow connected to the Coke family, and the people that built the bottles, they actually made the bottles for Coke, which I was just mind blown. I'm like, this guy's just sitting alone, and he's part of a family that's multi-billionaires. What? But he actually taught me not to be he was talking about it. He just said not to be selfish. To always be pouring into people, which kind of relates to this. That's why I brought this one up. He's always inspiring and talking to other people. So when I sat across from him, he was just yeah, absolutely. He found it cool that I actually wanted to sit down with him. And that's why he said, what you just did was pretty brave, and it was pretty cool.
You never know who you're around. You never know who you're talking to.
Yeah.
You never know. Appearances can be deceiving. Very much so. I remember at a seminar that I just went to 4 months ago with my buddy Dean. He made the comment to me. He said, "Jonathan, just know you could be sitting next to somebody that's brand new in business, somebody that's struggling. You could be sitting next to a millionaire. You could be sitting next to a billionaire." And they were all there. And that's actually where I met Susan. And the thing is, everybody looks the same. Yeah, we have different facial features. Yeah, we're either male or we're female. no in between. We have different heights. We don't all have the six-pack abs like Danny has, but we're working on it. But the thing is, you never know who you're around. You never know who you are talking to. You never know who can change your life. All it takes is one interaction that can change your life forever. That change may be really fast. That change may take some time. But all it takes is one. All it takes is that one person that maybe you initiate the conversation with. That changes your life and theirs forever. Who else has a way of showing thanksgiving and how it has slingshotted you to joy? And by the way, for everybody that's watching, there is a QR code in the corner. Scan it and jump on over to Amazon and buy the book. We are obviously going through this book, and this is the prelude to our conversations right now. Yet we're not giving you all the information that's in the book. There is practical information to pour into life, to catapult for life transformation. And there's a story that chronicles the entire book. So buy the book and learn about the story of Jack and see the things that you can implement in your own life. Again, that QR code will take you directly to Amazon where you can purchase the book. All right, who's next?
I can go, John. And I like to make people laugh. It's fun to just to play something stupid, or funny or whatever, just to make people laugh. Put a smile on their face.
Awesome. And we have a comment coming in that says, I'm on the road, so it's too loud for me to talk. I always cheer myself whenever I'm struggling, yet it's always a good thing to feel down. But what's more important is that at the end of the day, you
always have to see the greatness in life. I believe in the saying, it's just a bad day and not a bad life. And I always feel grateful with my family. I have them, and that's enough already.
Thank you very much, Danny. And that came from our YouTube channel. I'm not exactly sure who put that on there because it's actually showing under my name. But was that you, Michelle?
I was logged in using your account. I didn't see that earlier.
Awesome.
Yeah, I just saw it and I was shocked. Oh no.
It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. Very cool. So, Susan, I'm sorry. That kind of got me sidetracked seeing that come up. As y'all know, using StreamYard is brand new to us. This is only the second week. So whenever I get messed up like that, it's me learning the new system. Susan, did you get to finish what you were saying? I apologize about that.
No worries, no worries. No, just making people laugh, making people smile, opening the door for somebody that's older than me, or younger. It doesn't matter. Just being kind to people generates smile and thankfulness. I'm thankful that I'm able to do that.
Right. It does go very far. It really, truly does. It does. Okay, so now that I'm aware, I was really thrown off because it was showing coming from me, and I knew I wasn't. So I'll reread that. Michelle works with us behind the scenes, so she's actually logged into my account, and that's why it's showing coming up from me, but that's quite all right. It said, I am on the road, so it's too loud for me to talk. I always cheer myself whenever I'm struggling, yet it's always a good thing to feel down. But what's more important is that at the end of the day, you always have to see the greatness in your life. I believe in the saying, it's just a bad day, not a bad life. And I always feel grateful with my family. I have them, and that's enough already. Absolutely. And she has an adorable newborn baby boy that is still just the apple of her eye. What is he, 3 months old now?
Yeah, this coming August 18th.
Wow. 3 months. So again, focusing on the good. And family is the good. You know, our families are what really bind us together. When you find that special person and have those little special people, man, life changes. And I see Juanita messing with a tiger. She lives in South Africa. So I think she just had a tiger crawling across her desk. She had to put that little kitty down. Who else can give us an example of how you show thankfulness and how it does slingshot you into joy? I love this group. They're so thankful. And they're so Danny, you raising your hand?
Yeah, I have another one.
Brother, you can just come off of mute. You don't have to raise your hand.
Okay. There's like a quote, and it says like, if you have like $24 million and somebody stole $5 from you, would you be upset? And you typically would say no, right? Like, I wouldn't be upset because I have however much left over. But it's the same thing as you have 24 hours a day. Don't let somebody for 5 minutes ruin your day.
Right.
You know? So, I mean, that's like one big quote that I always keep in the back of my head. Not to let little things get to me, because it's not worth it. It's not worth it. We all have 24 hours, so might as well use it and stay as positive as we can throughout the whole day.
Oh, for sure. For sure. My dad taught me something when I was younger. He taught me, he said, son, because when I was younger, I had really bad anger issues. And then I got a divorce and I don't have nearly as bad of anger issues anymore. But that's besides the point. He taught me, he said, son, if what you're going through right now that has you so angry is not going to bother you in 5 years, don't let it bother you now. If it's not going to bother you tomorrow, don't let it bother you now. And that's so simplistic, and really it is. Yet, when I really started implementing that into my life, it helped out so much. It allowed me to not be angry at most stuff. I mean, there's a lot of things that I'm sure my wife would really appreciate it if I'd get more angry at times. But it's just like, it's going to pass. And so you're absolutely right, Danny. Don't let something or someone steal the joy just because they, rob 5 minutes of your time or 10 minutes of your time.
Would you guys remember Nightbird, the singer that was on America's Got Talent or whatever? Do you remember her?
I do not.
Well, she had cancer, and she had a lot of inspirational quotes too. And she had a 2% chance of survival, and her attitude was 2% chance of survival is not zero. That was powerful. The first time I ever heard her say that was just powerful. It spoke volumes. She also says you can't wait until life isn't hard anymore until you decide to be happy. And I actually used that quote on the chapter I book that I did, which is going to be, its launch date is August 29th. So, and then I am so much more than the bad things that have happened to me. Just wonderful inspirational quotes by this young lady who happened to have lost her battle with cancer about a year ago.
Well, there you go. Thankfulness of her 2% chance to live brought her joy until she didn't make it anymore.
Right.
And I mean, that's huge because she's focusing on that small 2%. All right. Who else has something?
I guess I'll chime in, John.
Say that again, Ricardo.
I said, I guess I'll chime in.
Okay.
Can you hear me well, or do I need to change
Yeah,
the?
we can hear you. It's choppy, but we can hear you.
Okay, let me this is just a moment. I'm gonna take my earbuds off. Just a moment. Hopefully this isn't stopping everybody from paying attention. Try this again. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. Now, what I wanted to add is that gratitude for me honestly starts with how I view life itself when I wake up in the morning. Because if you got the wrong view of life, as if life owes you something, you'll always find reasons to not be gracious.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because life doesn't owe you anything. Life is a gift. It's given to you. And since it's given to you to appreciate and to do something with it, not to lament over the fact you have life, because any issues you have happen because you actually have life. You know, it's not the absence of it, it's you choosing to live it, not you possessing it. Because anytime you wake up in the morning, whatever issues you had the day before, the fact you woke up, that's a reason to shout and rejoice, because whatever happened yesterday, I got a chance to fix it or make it better today. You know, so not being selfish and have an attitude that life somehow owes me something and the people around me owe me something. You know, I owe something to the one that gave me life, in the sense that I'm supposed to live it with intent. Because the thing about it, even though I know what's meant, because I say it sometimes myself, that we have 24 hours, we literally only have the moment that we have right now, because people drop dead all the time.
That's right.
You know, the only moment you have is the one that you have presently. So each moment that you get is a reason to be thankful and gracious, because you have it. Now, that doesn't mean that there aren't things that's going to happen day to day, but those things, once again, are only happen and only mean something because, once again, you still have the gift of life. You know, so my thing is, you can be stressed or worried because I want things to be a certain way, or I'm pursuing greatness. But the thing about greatness is greatness doesn't happen without growth.
Mm-hmm.
So the thing is progression over perfection. So if I'm growing progressively, then I'll grow in the sense of being able to attain or achieve the greatness that I'm looking for. I may not do it perfectly, but I'll do it progressively.
That's right.
And so I give myself a break, and I'm not too hard on myself, because I know that I'm imperfect. So even while having an idea what perfection is, the best I can do on my best day is do it imperfectly. But as long as I'm growing and progressing, that's the reason to rejoice.
Yep.
So that's the way I start my day out. Like I wake up and it's like, Lord, thank you for this day, and now help me to order my steps. You know, open my eyes, give me clarity. You know, give me guidance, or whatever it is, so that today I have not only knowledge and understanding, but now I have wisdom to apply in the areas that I need to apply, so that this day that I have, this gift that I have right now, I'm able to do something with it, and then impact the lives of other people because of it. Because I want people's lives to be better because I've been here, or because I lived, than for me to pass and people never know I existed.
It's very profound. Thank you so much for sharing, Ricardo. And let me just throw him some props. Ricardo does live a life to impact people. And one way he does that is each and every Thursday, he has a podcast come out called Hustle Faithfully. The link is in the chat now. And he is on that podcast each and every week, and just absolutely amazing, getting better week by week by week. And Ricardo, it's absolutely a pleasure to know you and a pleasure to do life with you in multiple ways that we do life together. Love you, brother. So everybody, just remember that thankfulness truly is the seed for joy. The more thankful that you are, the more joyful you will be. It is a choice. No matter how painfully hard or simple it is a choice. and y'all remain blessed and unstoppable. This presentation was brought to you by The Unscripted Event. Head on over to www.theunscriptedevent.com. Pick up your tickets to the upcoming event, number 3, in beautiful Daytona Beach, Florida. It is this coming up weekend, this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So go ahead and get your tickets now, and we will see you in beautiful Daytona Beach, Florida. Everybody remain blessed and unstoppable. Remember, you are awesome. You are amazing. You are loved. And we will see you Tuesday night for the book study on Chase Hughes' 6MX. Check your text and check the group Facebook page and the Mighty Networks page for the link. Everybody, be blessed.